Good afternoon, good afternoon. Happy blessed Tuesday. Welcome to God First Christ Game Media News, y'all. Come on in for a brief moment. Today I want to talk about an officer who was assaulted by an inmate and talk over a few details and things about how these particular things happen and how these officers can protect themselves, you all. I said it, yes, how these officers can protect themselves. Mind you, some of these officers are in a very difficult situation, but a lot of them are in a very good situation, might I say. It's mostly the way that you conduct yourself as an officer around these inmates that kind of leads to situations like this, you all. Uh, Mind you, I've also been incarcerated before, and this is one of the things that often happens when you find officers arrogant and rude towards these particular inmates. You all now, it's always one inmate that's gonna ride for everybody. That's gonna take all the heat for these particular inmates. You all, and this is what I want to discuss tonight. But before I get off into this particular content, copyright disclaimer under Title 17, USC Sections 107, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright statute and might otherwise be infringed. Nonprofit, education, and personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. Tips to balance in favor of fair use, you all. So here we go again. We have an officers that was actually assaulted and attacked by an inmate, you all. But again, this is one of the things that I kind of want to discuss tonight. So usually if you are joining me for the first time, usually we come on and kind of read a brief article so that we can get a better narrative and understanding. Because a lot of times we have these different news reporters and news stations that has never been in situations like this, you all. So most of them are actually giving you the narrative that they actually perceive it to be, you all. When a lot of times the story is just the opposite. So again, tonight I want to go off to this. It said detention officer seriously injured during an attack by a Harris County jail inmate with history of assaulting officers, documents said. It said a Houston detention officer was injured during an attack at the Harris County Jail on July the 24th, according to court records. Christian Dillard was charged with aggravated assault on a public servant, which is one of the many charges on his record. Court document shows that Dillard struck the officer uh, Velasquez multiple times with his hand. Velasquez reportedly sustained serious injuries after the attack. The county jail stated, you all, he has listed to be in fair condition and recovering at home with his ribs, bruised ribs, severe facial lacerations, and a broken nose. Mentally, I'm still recuperating, the detention officer said during a phone call with the Channel 2 news station, you all. It said, we are still trying to figure out the process it out. Physically, I'm okay. I'm doing good and I'm getting better. I'm healing day by day, but it's kind of hard to talk about, to take the stitches in my mouth, to talk with the stitches in my mouth. The stitches on the side of my head, you all. Velasquez said he was on a double lockdown floor, which houses serious violent offenders. It said a 28-year-old said he was walking downstairs as Dillard was walking up, you all. That's where he struck me from behind, and I ended up turning around immediately. I guess I was trying to swing back and fight back in general, defending myself, you all. So, again, this was a very crazy story, but again, I will be sharing the news clip in the links below. But again, I want to discuss a few things about how these officers really treat these inmates, you all, so that you can actually understand what may or may not have happened, you all. But this is the reason while we are actually on here. So let's just take a look.
Lisa, that detention officer tells me that he was doing a routine check when he was on the double lockdown floor, which houses those charged with murder or capital murder, when he was attacked. Harris County Detention Officer Jay Valdivius recovering at home after he says he was assaulted by a capital murder suspect awaiting trial.
As soon as I was making my way down the stairs, that's where he snuck me from behind, and I ended up turning around immediately and then, I guess, trying to swing back or fight back in general, defending myself.
The suspect, Christian Dillard. Court records show this isn't the first time Dillard is accused of assaulting an officer or peace officer.
You have here assault bodily injury, assault by striking another detention officer, striking another detention officer, and now aggravated assault.
David Cuevas is the president of the Harris County Deputies Organization.
We need more personnel, and we need to do a better job of protecting our DOs, our detention officers that are down there.
A sheriff spokesperson.
And again, you also, this is a crazy case, where they are actually saying that, there is a lack of accountability when it comes to their officers. They do not happen to have the proper staffing, you all. But again, this is one of the things that I want to talk about, because this is something that has gone on a long time, you all. And again, some of these inmates, they wait a long time and are very patient because where are they going to actually go, you all? These inmates are actually locked up, and a lot of them wait a long time to get some type of revenge on these certain officers that has been treating them bad, you all. Now, mind you, it's a lot of inmates who actually depend on these officers, And again, some of these officers come in their whole, their whole job duty, or their whole, might I say, some of these officers actually get off, you all, might I say, on antagonizing these inmates, and treating them pretty bad. A lot of these inmates be sick. They may need sick calls, so forth and so on, where these particular officers have to get a piece of paper to actually get them to sign and send in, you all. So some of these incidents can take some days, and especially if an officer say he gonna come back and help you and do so forth and so on. This is the reason why they should absolutely go back, and never forget these people, or just make small notations. Again, a lot of these officers are actually antagonizing these inmates, treat them bad, cuss them out, talk all kind of crap to them. And a lot of times they are actually on the receiving end of a lot of these beatings, you all. So again, this is very unfortunate for this particular deputy, but mind you, it's all in the way you carry yourself, so forth and so on, because these officers go to work every day and never get assaulted. And a lot of these dudes, they don't want an extra case thrown on them, and that they will absolutely avoid these kind of situations, if necessary, if they possibly can, because again, once you stack all these cases up against you, and you are actually getting charged in the county facility before you actually go to prison, then you're going to have a bad rap on your records. You're going to have a bad jacket on your back, might I say, you all, because again, all these different kind of cases that you catch in the county, they follow you to prison. So again, I'm saying that a lot of these dudes, they don't want to have nothing to do with these officers, but then again, a lot of them actually depend on these officers. So when you have certain officers coming through rude, maybe talking crazy to these people, maybe talking about their moms and their girlfriends, these inmates never forget, might I say. So again, it may be days or weeks go by, they may switch a certain officer to a different shift, or you may not see this one particular officer to the following week. But then again, these inmates, they never forget, you all. And some of them vow to actually seek revenge on these inmates on these particular officers on behalf of the rest of the inmates, you all, who may had been ill treated, you all. Because again, one of these dudes' mindset is gonna actually be like, man, I'm never going home. I wish one of these officers would do any type of thing to me. Then they had the opportunity to kind of seek revenge. Again, this was very sad and disgusting thing to actually happen to the young man. So, I'm kind of talking to other people that may be jailers or police officers, so forth and so on, and actually are in a situation where they have to work these particular dorms in places where they may be dangerous offenders. You have to remember that these people are still human beings, although may have been locked up or made mistakes or committed a crime that they very much regret. You all, these people, they don't have much at all, and sometimes the best way that they can actually get off some of this kind of steam and frustration is to actually least lash out at one of these particular officers. So again, this was a very sad case, and I just want to say to these certain jailers and jealous inmates, so forth and so on, never put yourself in the predicament to actually catch another case while you are incarcerated. This is one of the things that you always want to stay away from, because it will prolong your chances of actually coming home. And if you are a jailer or some kind of detention officer, remember that these people are actually going through a lot of things. Some of these inmates are actually mentally disturbed and things of this nature. So you have to handle yourself with caution. You have to pay attention to your surroundings and understand the people that are actually in different places of the jailhouse. It may be SIG or lockdown, the general population, so forth and so on. You want to remember where you are actually working at, man, because you, again, do not want to pass some of these places and be walking around on dorms by yourself after you had done disrespected a lot of these inmates, you all. So again, I didn't want to hold too long. Just wanted to kind of come in and kind of give people a general description of what may had actually happened. And I might, again, man, this inmate told the brakes off this man. He went to work looking pretty nice and handsome, and left out of that thing looking like Martin Lawrence when he went to go fight in his particular comedy show, you all. So again, I didn't want to hold you guys too long. Just wanted to come on and kind of get back into the swing of things with some new content for you all. So again, God first, Christ gang. Peace. Y'all have a blessed and awesome day, you all. Hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you.
Tells me there are 100